Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Taking Care of Business. The man who rules the world breaks in a brand new partner to help him take care of business in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Taking Care of Business at paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. When I look at the way Zack Snyder's Justice League was completely mishandled, it showed me that the big problem at Warner Brothers is confidence. And the people who have the biggest problem with confidence are the Warner Brothers executives behind the scenes. Now, most of these Warner Brothers executives, they are extremely insecure because they wound up losing so much ground to Marvel Studios over the last 10 years, and over the last 25 years, they have not really had a hit in the superhero movie genre. And because they have struggled to find success in the superhero movie genre, a lot of these executives are extremely insecure, and that insecurity is showing with many of the products they produce. And when you have insecure people working on a project, they wind up undermining the success of any project they are attached to. Now, in order for any sort of creator like myself to go out here and release a project, whether it be a comic book, whether it be a novel, whether it be a screenplay, or whether it be a film or a YouTube video, we have to go out here with confidence. And the reason why we have to go out here with confidence is because you only get one chance to make a first impression. And if you want to make a powerful first impression on people, you have to believe in what you are producing. And when you believe in what you're producing, you're going to show that passion and heart when you go out here and present your project to the public. And when I go out here and I release a book like the John Haynes Taking Care of Business, which is available right now, or Isis Revenge of the Cyber Goddess, which will be available on April 20th, or any other book that I have published on the SJS Direct imprint, I have to believe in what I am writing even before I go out here and put fingers to the keyboard. I have to have the confidence in my storytelling abilities that I can go out here and put together a solid, well-crafted story. And after I write and edit that story, I have to go out here and believe in that story to lay it out in pages and publish the PDF and go out here and contact many of the artists out here to do the covers. I have to believe in my work, and I have to believe in it with my whole heart that it is the best that I am able to do. That is what every creator out here has to do whenever they launch a project. They have to have the confidence in themselves in order to go out here and share that project with everybody out here. We cannot go out here and second guess ourselves and doubt ourselves, because if we don't believe in the projects that we're working on, then how can we ask the public, the audience, to go out here and support said project? That's the critical question that many at Warner Brothers and DC really are not answering, because many of these people who are working there, they don't have any confidence in the projects that they're working on. And because they're working on these projects and they don't really believe in what they're writing or what they're producing, this is what's really leading to them having issues with many of their projects. Now, many of the people at Warner Brothers, they believe that they can come out here with a second or a third version to show how good a project like Justice League was, but that really shows how weak the leadership is at Warner Brothers. Because if you have to come out here with an extended edition, a Snyder cut, or a director's cut of a film in order to try to convince the audience that the film is good, that really shows how weak your leadership is. Because again, if you believed in your project, you're going to go out here and put the best version out there, and you're going to put that best version out there first. And if your best version is all you have, you're going to put that best version out there because you know that this is the best you could possibly make it, and you're not going to doubt yourself or second guess yourself. Because people who second guess themselves come from a place of insecurity, and insecurity comes from fear. And most of these executives, they are afraid of these films failing, and it's their fear that causes these films to become a self-fulfilling prophecy, because they don't believe that their projects are good, and because they don't believe that the project is good, they wind up sabotaging a project that could have possibly been a good project. Because even though your Zack Snyder's Justice League was 4 hours long, and that's really something that many would consider hard to watch, it was a pretty solid film, and he should have been given an opportunity to present that film. But because Warner Brothers executives lacked confidence, they went out here and undermined your Zack Snyder and wound up undermining their ability to compete against the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that was the big mistake that your Warner Brothers made, was thinking they had to go out here and compete against Marvel. No, a confident person, when they're out here, they're not thinking about the next man. No, they are thinking about putting their very best on the table. And if the customer wants their best, they will go out here and pick their best. But that person knows that they've put out their very best, and they are going to sit there and stand behind it because they know this is their very best. For example, I remember when I was first starting out on the SJS Direct imprint, and I was doing hand-drawn covers because I didn't have the money to hire artists for books that were published early in the SJS Direct imprint, like the first edition of Temptation of John Haynes. And while I got attacked by some people for that cover and criticized for that cover, people who read the book saw how solid the content was, and I just went and just continued persevering because I understood that this was the best I could do at the time, and if I can go out here and do better, I will try to do better. I wasn't going to come out here and try to talk about, oh, I need to come out with an extended cut or a director's edition. No, this is going to be the very best it can be, and it's the best it can be because I know it's the best I can make it. So I'm not going to sit there and try to appease those people who don't really like what I'm producing. I will go or try to compete with those who are making another product. No, I'm going to stay in my lane and believe that this is the best I can do, and I have the confidence in my projects that they are the best I can make them. So I understand that in order to part of making a powerful first impression on people is bringing your best to the table, and people will understand that, okay, if this is a guy just starting out, yeah, I understand that maybe this isn't as perfect as the next guy, but this is the best he's done, and if he's going to improve, he'll come out with something better the next time, and again, on another product. But that's all about confidence, and many of your Warner Brothers executives, sadly, they don't have any confidence, and it shows on the screen of many of their products. And it's really sad that because of this lack of confidence in Zack Snyder, a lot of great storytelling was left on the cutting room floor a couple of years ago. I mean, Cyborg's story was very powerful, very true to the comics of the New 52 and even the New Teen Titans. A lot of that was left on the cutting room floor, and much of the character development was left on the cutting room floor, all because insecure executives didn't have the confidence to release this Justice League early on. And again, showing us how the problem, it was not Zack Snyder, it was Warner Brothers executives who lacked confidence. And when you lack confidence, you can undermine your own success. So when you're out here and you're working on a project like I'm working on right now with the John Haynes at Death's Door comic, I have to approach that with all of the confidence in the world. I have to believe in my project, and I have to radiate that positive energy, because it's my confidence that is going to go out here and sell that story, and it's that confidence that is going to leave that impression on the readers, because if they know I'm bringing my very best to the table, they're going to respect me for bringing my very best to the table. They're going to respect it, because when you have confidence, you're going to come out here with a different attitude, and you want to have that confidence that, yes, this is the best. I believe this is the best, and I want you to experience the very best. That's the way a person who believes in their projects approaches them. They approach it believing in it and sharing that passion for it. I mean, whenever I come out here with a new SJS Direct book, whether it be a new one like the John Haynes Taking Care of Business or the new Isis Revenge of the Cyber Goddess, I am approaching the people I understand by knowing this is the very best I can make it. This is the very best story so far, and I believe in this story so much that I'm willing to just put this out here and share it with you. And that's something that your Warner Brothers executives should have that same type of attitude. But because they don't have that kind of attitude, this is why they haven't had success with the DC Extended Universe. This is why the DC Extended Universe has struggled. This is why DC Comics has struggled, because the people in charge of the storied brands don't believe in their products, don't believe in their characters, don't believe in their stories, and because they have all of these fears and doubts, they second guess themselves, and when they second guess themselves, they wind up making it where the audience starts to doubt them. And if the audience starts to doubt you, it's because you don't have faith in your product. You don't believe in your product. And when you don't believe in your product, how can you sell it to the customer? Because when you're out here and you have a product like I do with the books of the SJS Direct imprint, you have to believe in the projects that you're selling. You have to believe that these are the very best characters, the very best stories, and you have to want to bring your very best to the table, because you want people to experience your very best. And if you don't have that confidence, you're not going to be able to sell anything. And what's really sad is that with this Zack Snyder's Justice League, we saw a $1 billion movie undermined by executives who just did not have any confidence, and it was their lack of confidence that cost your Warner Brothers the ability to go out here and take these DC characters to the next level. Because if it wasn't for their fears and their doubts and their insecurities, they would have made a very solid Justice League movie. And if they weren't thinking about competing with Disney and the MCU, they would have had their own success. Because when you're out here and you have confidence, you're not worried about the next man. I mean, I'm out here writing and publishing books on the SJS Direct imprint. I'm not worried about other competitors out here like your Black Sands or many of the other black comic, fantasy, and manga writers out here. No, I don't worry about those competitors. I'm only focused on bringing my best to the table with SJS Direct books, and I'm focused on bringing the best stories I know how to produce. I don't worry about the next man because I have confidence in my creative abilities and my creative talents. So I'm not worried about that next man and the next story or trying to sell a story similar to the next man. I come to the table understanding that when I bring my very best to the table, people want Sean James's very best and SJS Direct's very best, and they can go get other people's very best too, because part of competing isn't about thinking about the next man. It is about bringing your very best to the table and bringing your very best there and letting people know this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what I have to offer, and this is what I'm bringing to you. And I believe in this, and that's why I'm bringing it here. That's what any creator is going to say to you. They're going to say, mine is the best that I can make it. Mine is what I have to offer. And if you don't like what I have to offer, then that's your choice. I'm not going to force you to try to like it. I'm not going to try to convince you to like it, because part of sales is I'm not trying to convince you to like it. I am going to let you know the very best features of it, and I'm going to do it in a very confident fashion. I'm going to let you know, hey, this John Haynes series is a great action-packed series about a CEO stuck in a corporate hell. I'm going to let you know that this ISIS series is about a goddess next door who goes where she's needed and helps people out. And I'm going to let you know this E-Steam series is about a devilish diva on a journey trying to build a relationship with Christ. And I'm going to let you know that books of the Spinsterella trilogy are about a young black girl's journey throughout as she takes a trip down the goth subculture. So I'm going to let you know what these characters and their stories are all about. And if you like what you see, you're going to give it a try, and you're going to like it because you like the books and you like you like me and you like what I'm doing. So I'm not going to sit there and again think to try to convince somebody, because that's coming from a place of insecurity where you're sitting there. I'm trying to convince people, I'm trying to pander to people. And that's what Warner Brothers was trying to do with their DC Extended Universe. In the beginning, they were pandering to the audience. And when you pander to the audience, that's just a sign of weakness, and it shows how little confidence you have in your characters, how little confidence you have in your product, and how little confidence you have in you, because a person who panders is somebody who's begging you to go read their stuff or buy their stuff, but a person who is confident knows that their stuff is good, and they have no problem selling it to you, because there's a difference between selling and pandering, and that main difference is having confidence. And you have to have confidence when you're creative out here in your work. You have to be the one who believes in your work the most, because if you don't believe in your story, if you don't believe in your project, how can you ask others to believe in your product, to give it a try? Because if you don't have that passion, that heart, or that love for what you're doing, then how can you expect others to love your product? And that is a big problem that is going on, as I see it, not only at Warner Brothers, but all throughout many industries, is you have a lot of people out here who really don't have any sort of confidence in themselves, and it prevents them from having any sort of success, because their lack of confidence and lack of belief in self prevents them from moving things forward in their careers and prevents people from connecting with them. So you have to have confidence in whatever you're doing if you want to go out here and have any sort of success. And if you're not believing in what you're doing, then you can't ask others to believe in what you're producing, or go out here and want to read or see anything that you're doing. So you have to, again, have that confidence if you're a creator out here, and you have to have that confidence even when people are criticizing you, even if people are deriding you, even if people are roasting you. You have to believe in what you're doing, because I remember when people were putting many of my hand-drawn covers on the lousy book covers pages, I just had to keep persevering because I believed in my story, and because I believed in my story, I just kept pushing past all the negativity. And that's what everybody has to do if they want success, is they have to continue pushing past the negativity, and that's how you get to success. Because you only, again, get one chance to make a first impression, and if your first impression is based on insecurity, what's going to happen is people are not going to see you as good because you don't see yourself as good. But even if even if something is not what people like, you can still go out here and, again, leave a powerful first impression, because this is the best you can do right now. Because I remember, again, when I was doing hand-drawn covers, people didn't like the covers, but when they read the books, they saw how solid they were, and I got them to the marketplace because, again, I believed that was the very best I could do at the time. And even though I did get better and, again, hire professional artists to do my covers, I still went out here and still persevered because I believe in what I'm doing. And if you don't, you have to believe in what you're doing if you want success in this world. If you want to get something, you have to believe in it, and you have to have that heart to go for what you want. And this is something your Warner Brothers executives and many other executives out here need to start getting, is they need to start getting confidence. Because if you're in these creative fields and you don't have any confidence, you're not going to be able to get any sort of success, because you'll never get anything off the ground, because the naysayers will keep telling you that their stuff is wrong. But the only thing wrong is if you listen to these kinds of people. Now, if you want to try some of my SJS Direct Universe character stories, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, and novels like The Thetas and A Recipe for Success, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers this April, Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door must take on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess in paperback and e-readers this April.